Justin Hughes rarely allowed himself to be late for work, but sometimes he did stay home a bit longer and came to the office slightly later than usual. And that was despite the fact that he was both the director and the owner of the company. Justin's father used to work as an engineer at one of the light industry plants. The man worked tirelessly for 12 hours a day, taking on extra jobs so that his son would have everything he needed. Justin's mother passed away when he was only 5 years old, so all of the childhood memories of the future millionaire were of his father only. It was Simon Hughes who instilled in his son a love for hard work and taught him many things that he now excelled at. Of course, Justin's success didn't happen overnight, and he had to exert a lot of effort to climb the heights of the financial Olympus. Unfortunately, Justin's father did not live to see it happen, as he passed away a year before his son graduated from university. Justin had to go through a lot before he finally achieved financial independence. Business was always a demanding field of work, and those who wanted to succeed in it had to work at the limit of their strength and capabilities. Justin was well aware of what sleepless nights surrounded by financial reports and other business documents were like. While his peers were out enjoying their lives, he was trying to grasp the opportunity by its slippery tail. His subordinates valued Justin for his gentle and accommodating nature. And if the owner ever lost his temper or reprimanded someone, it was always the offender's own fault. Justin also never rushed to fire employees, understanding that it would take time to replace them and that there was no guarantee that those new employees would be any better than the ones he fired. One day, while studying the quarterly reports, the young businessman noticed a consistent shortage of personnel. It mostly concerned lower-level workers, loaders, packers, and miscellaneous laborers. It seemed like nothing out of the ordinary. That kind of work was hard and labor-intensive, and not everyone was up to the task. But we have never had such a problem before. I wonder what happened. Justin pondered. His deputy, Liam, just shrugged his shoulders. It's complicated now, Mr. Hughes. People don't want to work hard and demand exorbitant wages, sir. Justin frowned. Well, then raise their wages. What's the problem? Why did people want to work for us before, and now they're going to our competitors? Soon there won't be anyone willing to work for us. Liam nodded in agreement, but continued to complain about the competitors and the workers who overestimated their value. But Justin felt that something else was at play, and that Liam clearly wasn't telling him everything. But what exactly is it? That remained a mystery. Justin had to unravel it himself. After all, no one in the world would do someone else's dirty work, especially when it involved going through someone else's dirty laundry, and the young businessman understood it like no one else. Desperately trying to find a way out of the situation, Justin racked his brain. Going through various schemes and approaches in his mind, he dreamed of getting to the truth as soon as possible. At that moment, there was a movie on TV about some spies disguised as homeless people. They got to observe their target fearlessly, approaching them from different sides. That was when it struck Justin. What if I disguise myself as a homeless person and come to work at my own company? To test the employees' reactions to see the company's operations from the inside. What could be better than an independent assessment of the situation? This idea appealed to Justin so much that he immediately set out to implement it. First of all, the businessman took some old clothes he found in the garage. Then he rolled the clothes in some dust, intending to give them a more dirty look. Justin also put on the old sneakers he had and looked at his reflection in the mirror. All in all, the effect was rather impressive. After some thought, Justin added a baseball cap with a broken visor to his outfit and nodded in satisfaction. That's what I need. Now, a bit of makeup on my face, and I'll be impossible to recognize. Justin was right. He looked nothing like himself. In order to avoid arousing suspicion in his deputy, Justin told him that he was going on a long business trip and would be away for at least a week. Liam readily volunteered to stand in for the boss, as he had done so many times before. Of course, Justin felt a bit uncomfortable about lying to Liam. But on the other hand, he really didn't have any other choice. Having said goodbye to his colleagues, the young businessman left the office, planning to return there the next day, albeit in a completely different appearance. Now we'll see what secrets my employees are hiding, Justin thought. The next day, he went back into the office disguised as a homeless man looking for any kind of work, just as he planned. To alter his appearance even more, Justin put on a wig that looked like the unkempt curls of a homeless person. Having seen the job ad on the HR department door, the disguised businessman decisively pulled open the door. The HR manager gave him a look of undisguised disdain, but didn't say anything, expecting him to initiate the conversation. Carefully changing his voice during the conversation, Justin mumbled that he wanted to apply for a job as a warehouse loader. The HR manager raised an eyebrow in surprise. "A loader? Did I hear you right?" "Yes, ma'am, that's right, a loader," Justin replied promptly. The woman smirked. Well, you certainly have some nerve. A loader? Have you seen yourself in the mirror? Why would a company like ours need someone like you? You better go beg for donations or collect bottles or something." Feeling insulted, Justin found himself lost for words. Of course, he wasn't expecting to get a warm reception, but that was just too much. Having left the stuffy office, Justin breathed a sigh of relief in the fresh air. His temples were throbbing, which didn't let him concentrate on the task at hand. At that moment, he spotted one of the warehouse loaders employed by his company. The worker didn't appear to be any better off than Justin himself, which meant that the reason for the HR manager's rejection lay elsewhere. "Hey, you there, come here," Justin called out to the worker. The loader glanced around before approaching the disheveled man. "What do you want? Come on, make it quick, okay? I don't have much time." Justin looked into the man's eyes and asked, "What can you tell me about this company? Is it worth getting a job here, or should I look elsewhere?" The loader pondered for a moment, then shook his head. "No, I wouldn't advise you to get involved with this company. The loader team is small, but the workload is huge. People leave, and the others take their place. According to the official documents, there should be 4 loaders, but in reality, there are only 2 of us. Then why doesn't the management hire more people?" Justin couldn't help but ask. The worker gave him a reproachful look, as if he were talking to someone very naive. "That's kind of obvious, isn't it? They just keep the money and dump all the work on the loaders they do hire. I bet the owner doesn't even know anything about it. I've only seen Justin Hughes once, and even then, just in passing. And I can't say anything bad about him. He seemed like a decent man. He's just too busy to deal with the regular workers." "And what about his deputy? What's his name? That Liam man?" Justin tried to get more information out of the worker. The loader looked around cautiously before saying, "You shouldn't talk about him here, buddy. He's not a nice guy. He might fire you on the spot. You might not care, but I have a family to feed, so keep your mouth shut. They say he's aiming for the owner's position, but don't tell anyone. Got it?" Justin raised his thumb in agreement, indicating that he understood the man. After that short conversation with the worker, the businessman in disguise came to some rather disheartening conclusions. It turned out that there was a group of traitors in his company, led by none other than Liam Douglas. He was the one who gave the order not to hire new people, intending to decrease productivity and increase the company's losses. But why would Liam do this? Isn't a salary enough for him? Justin pondered. Liam currently held the position of the deputy head of the company, but 5 years ago, he would have given anything for a managerial position in the same firm. Time flows and everything changes, and competition never goes away, Justin thought sadly. Having talked to several other employees of the company, the undercover businessman decided to confront the conspirators. He knew that Liam would hold a meeting in Justin's office, as was his usual routine. So that was where the young businessman, disguised as a homeless person, decided to go. The next morning, the department heads gathered in Justin's office, which had been temporarily occupied by Liam during the owner's absence. Sitting comfortably in Justin's leather chair, Liam scanned the room and began the meeting. At that moment, the office door swung open, and a disheveled homeless man appeared at the threshold. "Hey, where's security? Why are there strangers here in the building?" Liam exclaimed, irritated. "Who told you I was a stranger?" The familiar voice asked in a tone that cut through to the bone. Liam shuddered and sat up straight. "Justin? Mr. Hughes, weren't you supposed to be on a business trip?" "I'm sorry, sir, I really didn't know." Liam's excuses sounded feeble and unconvincing. Having removed his wig, Justin started wiping the makeup off his face, gradually revealing his familiar appearance. After asking the other employees to leave the room, the company's owner approached Liam closely. Staring into his eyes, Justin asked just one question. "Why, Liam?" The deputy's face paled, then he started sweating and flushed with embarrassment. Finally, he managed to get a hold of his emotions. he must have realized that he couldn't avoid facing the consequences of his actions. Why? I'll tell you why. It's easy for you to talk. Your father didn't end up drinking himself to death because he got fired from his job, did he? Remember that? Of course you don't. Your dad really outdid himself. He fired my father from the factory for skipping work a couple of times. That was a long time ago when you were still in college. You used to wear shirts with starched collars, expensive cufflinks and watches and ties, while I had to help the janitor for a pittance. But now, I've grown up, and I intend to remind you of that, Liam exclaimed. Only then did Justin understand what had happened. Liam was driven by his desire for revenge and nothing else. Pretending to be a friend and a loyal employee, he ruthlessly embezzled the company, aiming to bankrupt Justin. For this purpose, he surrounded himself with other traders who were dissatisfied with the current state of affairs. The company's owner listened to Liam's hysterical accusations and then pointed to the door. Justin wasn't about to tolerate traitors in his company. He knew that if someone betrayed him once, they would do it again as soon as they got the chance. Thus, Justin fired Liam and all of his supporters. Now, being out of the office, they could implement all of their crazy plans and live up to their ambitions. With Liam gone, the company flourished before everyone's eyes. Now, its employees were all people who truly cared about their work and career. Justin also learned his lesson from everything that happened and was determined not to make the same mistakes again. Now, he started personally interacting with the lower-level employees every week in order to be aware of their problems and constructive suggestions.